What's up, gentlemen and ladies? Yoshi here with another video. I'm bringing you guys part 3 to my Sombra map guides, and today we'll be doing escort maps. Now, escort maps are going to be very similar to how assault escort maps worked in the second video, in that any health pack you would take on defense, you would also take on offense, and vice versa. So here we are on attack on Gibraltar. The first health pack that you're going to want to take, usually you will exit the spawn through the left door. You'll come here and you'll take this mega because this is the one that everyone will use if they are pushed up on the payload. If you're at a higher rank and they're defending from high ground, the first one that you're going to want to take is the big one in the cave down here. Now the reason that it's so drastically different depending on your rank is because obviously people position themselves in different ways, but because of that they'll also be using different health packs. If they're defending from the payload, it's a good idea to take this one because it'll deny their healing and give your team more healing, as well as that small one if you choose to take that, or the small one that's all the way out in the distance over there. But if they're defending from high ground, you can take this one because you can invis and go up these stairs over here and go directly up to them on the high ground and start fighting them here. And the reason that you would take that mega down there instead of this one is because if you're fighting them on high ground, your team is pushing the cart. If they just so happen to push it down here and then the enemy team drops, you have that health pack for backup. And then again, you can go around the back, stealth up these stairs. You can take this little one for a team fight on here. You could take this little one and the big one in the control room. Now the most important ones to hold on attack and defense is the one in the control room, the one in the cave, and then these two are completely optional. Usually I take the one in the building over that one, but you can break the 2 health pack rule and hold all these 3 if you're defending in this area. But if you're defending all the way pushed up towards the spawn, this mega and the mega in the other room are your best bets. Moving on to the second phase of the map. Health packs that I usually take. If my team is stuck here in this area, this one is the most important health pack that you can possibly take. Now, if you pushed it past, a lot of teams get stuck on this hill area, or even right here because of the high ground over there. You can take this health pack. This is the main health pack that you're going to want to keep refreshing and be holding because it's used by both teams a lot. And it's in like the middle area towards the end and the beginning, so you can get there pretty easily. You can take the one in the airship. I don't normally do it unless I'm holding high ground. Like if I'm fighting up here, I'll just take it to farm EMP. Other than that, I don't really use it. That big one's the main one that I hold on attack and defense. And that little one if we're having trouble pushing around there or if we're defending there. There is a little one in this back room. I don't use it at all. I don't even look at it. Sometimes I will, but not really. And then for the final phase, this big one. If your team is stuck here, if not, don't even bother taking it because you have a better one right here. This big one is the most important one. This is the one that your team will be using when they're stuck from about this curve all the way down there. Those 2 big ones. And then when you guys do push it past here, it really doesn't matter which health packs that you take because there's this small one here, but if your team is fighting around this area, they're not going to have a lot of time to go back there. And then this one, nobody can really reach except for you and your flanker. So I guess you can use this one as a selfish pack if you wish, which I usually do. But the most important ones are the 2 big ones over there. Again, anything that goes for defense also applies on attack on these maps. So now we'll be moving on to the next one. The next map that we have up is Route 66. This is one of my personal favorite payload maps to play Sombra on because of how close together all of the health packs are on this map, and the fact that it's so easy to get a good EMP off in a lot of the tight areas over here. Here we are on Route 66. Now, if you're on attack, this health pack is going to be a decent one to hold. This one will be the main one that you will be using selfishly and farming EMP off of. Again, if you're in lower ranks and they're defending from right on top of the payload. If you're at higher ranks, you might not even need to look at that one at all. The most important health pack that you should be holding at any rank, attack and defense, is this one, and the big one inside the garage, especially this one, because once you push past this little deadlock gorge sign, everybody will be using that pack, and maybe this one. I don't really take that one a lot, but these 2 are the most important ones because most teams will get stuck right here, and you have 2 big health packs right there. You can farm EMP, and because of how big and open the area is, and the fact that there's not a lot of coverage, if they're holding high ground, you can translocate up and EMP and you'll hit everybody in the area. Very easy push, especially over here. As you see, again, there's not a lot of cover. If Mercy's trying to hide over there behind this rock or even in this cave, you can EMP and then push up and focus her down first. Or if they have a teleporter or something, you can push up and take that out, and then your team can just clean up off the EMP. Now, next phase, this health pack is kind of like the one on Numbani, if you remember from the last video, as where you can use this as a shortcut when you push past a certain point. So when you're about up to here, I'd say, where my spray is, that health pack is going to be your main one. When you push past here, this health pack is going to be your main one. Then you come all the way around here, you're still going to be using that one up until about here, and then that big one will become your main pack again because it's the easiest one to get to, and it's the fastest way to get back to the point. Now, one thing I don't understand that I'm going to point out real quick, this doesn't really pertain to Sombra, is that when you're coming back from spawn, when the payload is pretty much right in front of the gate, but you don't have it capped yet, like if it's right there, I don't understand why people will go down and then go down the street and fight on the street when you can just go this way, use this high ground and fight them up here, or you can go full around the back and fight them from behind. Plus, you'll have that health pack to assist you if you do fight from up here or back here. But that's just food for thought. Anyways, those two big health packs are the only ones really in this entire area. So those are the only ones that you're really going to need to hold at all. Next area we'll go into this last point, which a lot of people have trouble pushing. This is where your EMPs need to be on point and charged all the time. You can literally take any health pack in this area, it depends on the situation. You push it right here. This big one's probably going to be the best for you, and this little one as well. Push it a little bit farther. That little one and that little one are the best ones. You can use this one as a selfish one, or just to deny the enemy team healing. And then finally, if your team gets stuck at this last point, which happens to me all the time, this health pack, I always forget to take it, but it is always your best option to take this pack rather than that big one, because of how close it is, and the fact that you can push through this area. You can go up top over here, take this pack, camp this one, and then use this one while you're in a 1v1 or while you're fighting the team. Charge up your EMP really quick, and then come down, take this one, fight them here. You can just jump around in this area a lot, and that's what I really like about it, and really like about this last point of the map. It's really easy to charge EMP in this last area, and it's really helpful. One thing that you have to be cautious of though is these little moving platforms. If you go to EMP above them, it does block off everyone that's underneath them. So if you EMP over here, it'll block this whole area and nobody will get hit by it. So your best bet is to stay away from those platforms and EMP when you see that there's no space between this wall and this truck. So that way whoever's underneath it can get hit if you're doing it from up high. Now we're going to move on to the next and final map. Finally, here we have Dorado, which is my least favorite escort map to play her on attack. I like her more on defense on this map, whereas the other two I like her more on attack, and you'll see why when we get into it. So the main reason that I don't like attack on Dorado is because when you're first pushing the payload, there's not really a lot of packs for you to take. You can take the big one that's up top over there, and the big one in the back alleyway, which is the main one that you'll be holding on defense, is that big one over there. But if the enemy team has a Sombra, there's like little to no health packs that you'll be able to take, and it's a lot harder for you to get to the health packs than it is for the enemy team. So if you do deny them healing, it's not going to last you very long because you won't be able to go and refresh it right away. So I don't recommend her on attack on first point, but if you do choose to play her, the best route that you can go is down those stairs, up and around the back, and take this big one and use that one as a selfish pack until your team pushes the cart to this choke. And then if you're on defense, hold this one. When the enemy team pushes it to the choke, there's two health packs you're going to be holding, which is the little one in this building for your team to use, and the big one over there for you to use selfishly. They're both good for attack and defense. Like I said before, most escort maps and assault/escort maps, the health packs that you're going to be taking are the same. So the little and the big one, this one here is optional. I don't really take it unless the cart is right here and being contested. That's the only time that I'll take that one at all. Moving on to streets phase, there's two ways that you can attack a Sombra. Now you can do a pincer movement, or you can play frontline. So I'm pretty sure you guys already know what frontline is. It's like basically how Soldier and McCree players play. They stay behind the Ryan shield or stay on the payload and fight. And the reason that you can do this on the streets phase is because they'll be defending directly from streets. You could take this health pack for your team, this health pack for your team, the one inside the church area, the one inside the bank. But the pincer movement, which I'm sure is what most Sombra players use, at least at higher SRs, is when your team engages in the front, you go around the back using this pack, and then you come back here, throw your translocator, you fight them from the back, you hack their Mercy, hack their Rhine while your team is pushing up on their front line. And it really confuses the enemy team, allows you to get off a lot of good hacks, a lot of easy picks, and makes it easier for your team to push overall. Now, another thing that you can do instead of taking that big health pack is you can come over here and take this one. It's just that this one is a lot easier for the enemy team to find you camping. So what I'll do is I'll take that one, I'll put my translocator on the high ground over here, and I'll fight them from up top back here, or if they're on that side, I'll do this. Sometimes I'll drop down if, like, you know, I'm having trouble aiming on high ground, because it's not always easy to aim on high ground with Sombra. But the main ones that you're going to be taking, depending on which way that you push, if you decide to be more defensive and push in with your team, these three are the way to go. If you're going to be more offensive and flank, that big one and this big one are your best bets. This small one over here I don't really take unless I'm pushing from this direction and I'm poking them. So like if my team is engaged right there, I'll take this one and then I'll fight from the back over here. But other than that, I won't really take it. This one's really good for attack, but it does work on defense as well if you're fighting in this whole square area right here. That one's very useful to farm EMP off of. This little one's really good for when your team gets stuck in this choke, which they often will. I don't really take that high ground pack much because I don't really find myself on high ground here a lot, and when I do, I'm usually fighting right here and getting healed by our Mercies and Lucio, and I'm just doing it to farm EMP. So the main ones are going to be that little one, and you can take that little one, I usually don't. And this big one back here is useful as well. But the main ones are going to be that little one and that one as well. And then when your team gets stuck in this area, again, you can play on the front line and fight them with your team, using those packs for coverage. Or you can pincer movement again, taking this one and choosing to poke at them from the back like so. Or if they're fighting in this choke, you can come around and fight them right here. But I really do like playing her on defense on this map rather than attack. But again, she can work on attack and defense on any map, as you guys see. She's very flexible, and that's one of the main reasons that I enjoy her. Anyways, thank you guys so much for checking out the video. Glad that you guys are really enjoying the map guides, and I'll have the final part for control maps out whenever I get to record it, because I'm starting school Thursday, so I'm not going to be able to do as many uploads, and I was recently busy with my family visiting. So whenever I get to do that, I'll probably post it up on Twitter, and I'll let you guys know. Anyways, like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you want to see more, hit the bell for notifications, and I'll see you later. Yoshi out.